Welcome back to the Manor. Julian McBain here, and I am still recovering from my cold, but here we are. We're hunting Shubs. We are in the Caves of Monria, and we're going after that last chapter. And what I did is I fought my way all the way to the back of the cave. If I had gone any further the other direction, I can show you here in a minute, you'd actually run into cultists again. But what we're doing is we're fighting Shubs, because this is what I've got left. And, then I've got the horns, and so that's awesome. And so yeah, don't really know what we're going to talk about yet because I've been so sick lately I haven't even prepped. But before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Manor. Please take a moment and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Also, please consider going to patreon.com/JulianMcBain if you want to support my work. If you do, you'll get exclusive content. I will be working on the Boneworks Backstage Part 2. I also need to finish up working on my Boneworks content. I know I've been behind on it. It had been on the docket this week, and then I caught the world's worst cold. Like, I tested a couple times for COVID. That's how bad it was. Never tested positive. But, yeah, to the point where, like, yesterday, I got sent home from work at like 10:30 in the morning. Like I went into work like I normally do on a Monday. I'm there at 9. My boss rolls in at 10:30 because that's what happens when you own a business. You can just do shit like that. And he takes one look at me and goes, "Why are you here?" So I got to know. He goes, "Get out. Go home. Take your computer with you. If you're feeling well enough later, get on and do a little bit." He goes, "Go home. Don't be spreading that shit around the office." Okay, fine. So I got home around 11, promptly fell into bed and didn't wake up until 3. And I'm pretty sure I had a fever dream the whole fucking time. It was weird shit. I will say this. Having a cold or being ill makes for some really weird-ass dreams. Like, I can't even logic some of this shit out. I don't even want to share it. That's how bizarre some of this shit was. You wake up, you think you've been eating magic mushrooms, and I've never tried the damn things, okay?
Okay. No admittance to mundane minds. Can I... Oh, boy. I hate having to take these, but... Okay. Question is it just and it automatically opens the door because of course it does. God. I mean, admittedly, this is ridiculous.
Okay. Just weird shit. But that's why you might hear me. I'm a little stuffed up. You're gonna see probably some jump cuts if I gotta blow my nose. I sneezed like 4 times shortly before the stream started. So yeah. I literally didn't prep for this, but I wanted to put something out. So this might end up being a shorter video. My goal is to keep recording until we make it to the end of the Shubs. I've actually had some really good luck on these guys. Actually, I think they're technically women. I mean, I have reasons to believe that. Bizarre ones, but you know, the secondary traits are there. With the plates I put on the ghost, they're not nearly hitting as hard as they used to. And part of it I know is because I've leveled up. I'm level 51 now. I think I was still early 40s the last time I was on Monria. I don't think I've been here in 2 years. Like, not seriously. Or I haven't hunted Shubs in 2 years. And after fighting those level 26 cultists, I'm not overly surprised I'm not having a huge difficulty with level 19 Shubs. Or level 23 Shubs, as they do go up to like level 23 or 27. But I've been having pretty decent luck with them, and I've been popping a lot of globals. I wish I had been doing the same type of recording I was doing for Mayhem, because that would have given me some really good content, but I didn't have the frame of mind to do it, and so that's totally my bad. but they are a lot of fun to hunt. So once you're capable of dealing with this level of mob, I would definitely take the time to hunt Shubs on top of the Shogs and the cultists and the Yogs. So Shoggoth, cultists, Yogs, Shubs, not in that order. Definitely worthwhile. And the best part is they drop these, which is the animal liver oil. Each one's worth 1 ped, which doesn't sound like a lot because, you know, individually it's not. But I've noticed, at least at the level I'm at, it tends to keep up with the decay on my armor. And that's really important. That's really important because that means that if you can just sacrifice that one piece to deal with your decay, the rest of it's all gravy. And, I mean, the markup on this is not terrific. It's like 102, 103. If you've got the patience, you can definitely make a little extra off of it. So there is that. I've honestly found that if you're making less than like 105, it's basically TT food in my opinion, but that's me. That's kind of my threshold. How you decide to play the game is up to you. And honestly, you'll probably be a lot more efficient if you auction everything or sell it via carny barking or in a shop or to resellers. That's absolutely 100% the truth. But you also have to put in the time. And that's really a balance you have to strike as a player, is deciding how you want to deal with your loot. You know, do you want to take the time to sell it proper, make the few extra ped, and that's really how you become more profitable in Entropia universe? Or are you looking just for the expediency of selling it off to the TT so you can turn around and go hunting and sacrifice those extra ped? And it really is a balance to be struck. Speed costs money. That's just the way the world works. Speed costs money. Time is money. Speed costs money. So, the speed of dumping things into the TT presents the opportunity cost of not getting the profit from it. Plus, it appears to, I can't say it does because I don't have access to the formula, it appears to affect your global rate and drop rate. So you do have that as well. Because, of course, Mindark's not going to let you profit straight off of them. They're not stupid. I mean, unless you're doing the shares and deeds, of course. But that's different. That's an investment you've already made. Like here. Yeah, that's technically straight profit. Kind of. But the pet have already been dumped into the deed. You know what I'm saying? They got their money off that. So, there's kind of some nuance in there. By comparison, you're dumping shit into the TT. They're not just going to give you money. It's not the way it's going to work. That being said, it would not surprise me if Mindark tracks the total amount of ped each account actually dumps into the system so that they know exactly how much you've put in. So they can do things like insert big HOFs and globals from time to time. It would not surprise me at all. I would love to see the formula, but it's the best kept secret in the Western Hemisphere. So yeah, the other good part about Monria, and this is something that not a lot of people think about, Monria doesn't have a core tax rate, and it's right in their advertising. They don't have a core tax rate. Like Calypso, pretty sure Calypso has something like a 10% core tax rate, which is why you actually do better on player-owned land areas than you do in the core areas when it comes to loot. Because you don't get the Calypso core tax rate, you get the player tax rate. And I know it's not a flat 10%, it's probably like 7 or 8 or 8.5 or some stupid thing like that. But it's definitely more than 0. Monria's 0% tax rate is really reflected in its loot. And that's one of the best parts about hunting here. It's one of the benefits, like I laid some criticism at Monria's feet in the last video that I did. And I do want to point out some of the benefits to hunting on Monria. One of them is the 0% tax rate. The loot table here is phenomenal for Entropia Universe. It might be the best in the entire on the entire platform. It's better than Syrene's, although Syrene's isn't behind it by much because Cyrene does not have a very high core tax rate. The mobs, despite there only being 5 mobs on the planet, it does mean that you can really gauge where you're at against each mob. fairly quickly, and I believe they're all on the same scale. They're not on the same scale as mobs on Calypso. But as an example, a level 2 curb on Calypso is not the same as a level 2 Daikaba. Okay? They're close, but there's definitely some nuance. But there's a lot of equals between a level 19 Shub and a level 19 Cultist. The only real difference is the type of damage they do. And you can pretty much meet that out with armor, and most of the damage that they do will be mitigated by Ghost. And if not just by Ghost, then when you add plates to it. So there is that piece too. It means that you can really go in fairly prepared, or as a newer player, and do really well on Monria if you're just keeping track of what you're doing and keeping your nose clean. So, is it perfect? No, it's not going to be perfect. No platform is perfect, but it is good. So there is that. Which reminds me of one of the things I wanted to do here. Let's take a peek. See, that's a long way down. And I'm very curious as to what happens. Like, can we reach that, or is that bottomless? It doesn't look bottomless. I can see, you can see the floor over there. So let's see if we can. I'm going to sacrifice myself here. The dog drops behind me. Such a loyal pooch. Poor dog. Like, can we actually reach the bottom of this cave? I don't even know that they meant for this to be explorable. I'm just gonna wait for the health to kind of gather. Drop. And drop. Into the water. We did it. We're in the bottom of the cave. Of course, I have no clue what can happen here. This probably isn't going to do anything. Just be wandering around like an idiot. And now I have no way of getting back up. I'm literally going to have to hit T to go back to a terminal. What's that? Wait. What is that? What is that? Oh, I see. It's just a... Okay. It's starting to sound like one of those cores from GLaDOS. What is that? What is that? Oh, that thing has numbers on it. The question is can you actually get back up from here? And I think the answer is going to be no. So we're just going to explore this for a minute. You might end up seeing a jump cut here. Be really cool if there was a secret down here. Watch this be how you get to Cthulhu. Like, we'll be down here and all of a sudden a level 1, 300 Cthulhu appears. It just, like, one-shots me. No. No, it's a trap. It's a trap. But it was interesting to find out, so... I am going to tee out of here, and I will meet you back at the revive terminal. Okay, we are back, and this is actually where we started. That's going to be the teleporter that I started at, but we're going to kill a few more Shubs before we call this particular video. So yeah, no, this has been a good time. One of the annoying things about Shubs, though, is you can never tell which one's going to reach you first, and it's always the one you're not aimed at. It doesn't matter which one you aim at, it always seems to be the one you're not aimed at is the one who ends up in close combat with you. Which is an ass pain when you're a melee fighter. But it is what it is. As you can see, these guys are higher level than the ones deeper in the cave. If you want to access those, you really have to make it through all those fucking cultists, which is a pain in the ass, but eh. Oh well. But as you can see, these are... When you're using an LB40 and you've got a... I think it's a melee 4. Yeah, melee trauma amplifier 4 plus the lifesteal mayhem attachment, you're good to go. And realistically, if you're a melee fighter, that's what I recommend you do. Amp up. Like, don't scrimp on the amps. They help you in the long run. You get the decay back. Buy yourself an appropriate melee trauma amplifier, whether it's a 1 or a 2 or a 4. Spend the ped. And then get the mayhem M Matrix amps with the lifesteal. They make your life 110% easier. It's night and day. It is absolutely night and day. Especially when you're hunting at level. And that 8% may not seem like a lot until it's a lot. And because it is affected by your amp, because it's just straight 8% lifesteal. So the more damage you do, the more life you steal. Which means that if you're doing high level damage because you're amped up, you're going to steal a lot more life, and it's going to keep your health up a lot better. Technically speaking, I should probably put a better amp on this weapon. We're going to stick that, and then we're going to go... I guess we have to do it this way. Yeah, because this only does 20. And we're at 40 to 100, I guess, is the correct amount. And that jacks our efficiency up to 66.7. But realistically, you can put an amp on a weapon that's half of the maximum damage, if I remember correctly. And that's its max efficiency. And yeah, does that mean your repair bills are going to be higher? Of course it does. That doesn't mean you won't get appropriate loot for the job, though. And that's the thing I think a lot of people misunderstand, is they think that you just raw spend extra ped. But if you're hunting at an appropriate level for yourself, the loot is going to justify the spend. The amount of repair you put in will not be as much as the loot you glean, or it'll be equal to. So at the very least, you should be breaking even or close to it. If you're not coming close to breaking even, and that's a give or take of about 5% in either direction. If you're not close to breaking even, you're hunting the wrong mobs, dude, or you're hunting using weapons you're not ready for. That's just the way it is. Grab a spreadsheet, do the math, do the work to put yourself together, and you can actually figure out how to use this platform properly. You can become an efficient hunter. You can become efficient at doing the things you enjoy to do. But you gotta be smart about it. It's like, you don't jump into an arena, right? So I'm a swordsman, you all know that. I would not grab my rapier and jump into an arena with a master of defense and expect to win, okay? They're going to eat, they're going to own my shit. They're going to own me. Why? Because they've been doing it a lot longer and my skill level does not match up. That's one of those things we call a fact of life. When you're dealing with mobs in the Entropia platform, you need to hunt things that are appropriate for your level if you want any real modicum of gain. Same with trying to test skills against someone that's way out of your league. You're not going to learn anything fighting someone who's out of your league in a non-learning environment. If they're there teaching you, that's one thing, but they're going to deliberately leave openings and stuff for you to learn technique. If you're in tournament, they're just going to dunk you. And that's what they're supposed to do. And I learned this the hard way years ago. There's a traveling trophy called the Iron Ring. And each region has its own Iron Ring, or many of the various regions has its own Iron Ring. And the point is you have to win a best 3, it's either best 2 out of 3 or best 3 out of 5, depending on the region, in order to take the ring with you. And the people who fight for the ring do not hold back. They're not joking around. They're not playing. This is for all the marbles, dude. And if you're not at top shape of your game, they're going to eat your shit, okay? That's what's going to happen. They're going to eat you alive, sit on your decapitate you, sit on your neck, and just take a dump. That's what they're going to do. And that's what's going to happen. And of course, that's not literal, YouTube, but effectively, that's what they're going to do. And That's what happens when you don't hunt effectively in Entropia Universe. You are sacrificing efficiency, you're sacrificing the ability to earn ped, the ability to hunt efficiently and gain those skills in order to go up against things that are way over your level. And frankly speaking, it's dumb. Do low-level hunting on purpose. Like, seriously, you could be level 20 or 30, I don't care. Go grab a Barbarella, go into Orthos Oil Field if you're on Calypso, or go hunt Shubs on Monria, or Pleeks on well, hunt those monkey things on Cyrene. Hunting Pleeks is annoying, because it's just like, doink, doink, doink. They yell up like one shrap apiece. But hunt low-level mobs to get your looter skills up, because that's what you need to do. And that's how you gain these skills to get better at the platform so that you're more efficient. And then, yeah, you're going to cycle more ped when you hunt at higher levels. That doesn't mean you're losing that ped, not if you're being effective at it. Now, are you going to still have to depot from time to time or go swunting if you're going to end up doing the whole free-to-play? Of course it does. Of course you're going to have to do that. But it doesn't mean you're putting any more in now than you did 6 months ago or a year ago. It just means you have to be a little smarter about how you hunt. It boggles my mind that people actually think that it's a waste of ped to hunt at higher levels. It's not that you're actually putting more ped in or wasting ped if you're hunting at an appropriate level for you. It's just that you cycle more. And that's what it is you're cycling shitloads. And yeah, that means you're going to want to keep an on-hand stock of like 100 USD, 1,000 ped worth of ammo. But you're going to burn it down slowly because you're going to cycle, like we've already cycled 91 ped worth of ammo since starting this video. But we're still not decaying very much. Because the 91 ped goes in, plus we've gotten a bunch of other loot. Now, of course, I didn't track it for this, and if you want me to track it, leave a comment. I'd be more than happy to. More than happy to track this. We'll do a couple of fixed ped hunts. We'll figure out what the profit loss statement is. I am more than happy to do that. And you know what? Y'all know me well. I'm willing to be corrected when I'm wrong. And we're actually going to start heading back now. Yeah, we're at the 23-minute mark. Actually, no. You know what? We got a few extra minutes because I had to cut a few pieces out. So we'll keep going. But the fact of the matter is that you... Down a bill. You just have to hunt efficiently. That's all it comes down to. And yeah, it takes a lot of time to learn. Started in Entropia Universe back in 2017. Okay? Was it 2016? Was it December of 16? It was December of 16, I think. I'll have to check. When did I set up my Entropia Universe account? Pull out the authenticator. Let's find out. Count. Of course one would end up behind me because I'm an idiot. That's fine. Manage. Sign in. Oh, this is what happens when you don't pay attention. And I didn't pay attention. Y'all can laugh at me for that. November 2017, I was right the first time. That's right, because I moved back to Vermont in 17, and I made my Entropia Universe account that year. So, been here since 2017. 5 years. 5 years in November. Holy shit. That's awesome. Anyway, you know, after 5 years, I would hope, you know, you'll have spent the time to figure it out and learn where you are. And there are people who are Ubers who deliberately just don't give a shit, and more power to them. And there are others who they just naturally hunt efficient. And I honestly believe you actually become more efficient over time just naturally. It's just the way it works. Because you're so used to doing it. You just do it. Just like you're so used to being an idiot and not paying attention to your health, you just die. Rely on your instincts when it comes to that stuff, though. Like, if you're hunting a mob and you're just not quite getting the loot you think you should, step it down by 1 maturity and see what happens. And test it. And you got to do long tests. Like, we've talked about long tests on this channel before. 5, 10, 15 hours worth of grind. Test it. Do the comparison. Use your spreadsheets. Oh, this is more efficient. Maybe if I step it down 2 more, it becomes more efficient. You meet that happy medium. And this is where you want to hunt. You start getting globals. And that's how you really know you're at the proper level, is you start just popping globals all over the place. So, okay. Now that I've managed to make a fool of myself, we're going to finish off this shub. We're going to run back to the teleporter. But yeah, no, this cave, I enjoy hunting. Once you get beyond this section, they go higher level. And I don't know that I've ever been in this chamber successfully. In the past, I tried fighting my way there and was unsuccessful. Ugh. It was rough. Maybe in the next video, we'll see if we can't fight our way. From what I understand, there is a boss in there. But I don't know if it's sporadic spawn, like the Dunwich Horror, or if it's just there. I don't know if we'd be able to make it there ourselves. Because that cave is where Bonnie and JBK like to hunt when they're here on Monrio. On Monrio. Oi. Monria. Monria. And I don't recall seeing one there, but I wasn't really paying attention. So I guess we'll have to find out. Maybe that'll be a future video. Just trying to dig in and see what we've got going on in that cave. You can see one-on-one, these guys don't stand... Things don't stand a chance. 4-on-1, yeah, they kind of own my shit. It is what it is. And keep in mind, I am not necessarily the expert on all this. Everything I give you is in my experience. You got people who've been doing this far longer. You've got your serial overdrives and your lore spades. You've got everyone out there has their own opinion on how this works. Okay? In my experience, because I am anal retentive about keeping notes, this is what I've determined. But that it's kind of anecdotal. We need more data. That being said, the data that I have accumulated appear to head in that direction. So take that for what it is. Let's just fight our way back to the wonderful teleporter, which theoretically is not that far away, but you'd be surprised how long it can take to burn through all these shubs. They're tough suckers. I'm gonna think of it. I don't think I've ever actually, like, investifoed one. I'm a scan one. Health level massive. I can believe that. Damage potential great. Wow, it's got some serious stats. And we're towing it with them. That's awesome. That was unexpected. Just like massive health, great damage potential. I'm kind of surprised we can tow it with them. And we're taking on more than one at a time. That makes me happy. Okay, and that pops this. Oh. We have a reward. Evade? Do I hear evade? Actually, should put more into dodge, too, because 4,000 evade versus... How much dodge do I have? Is the dodge even on here at the moment? Guess not. Let's look at... How much dodge do we have? We'll close this. And that. Pop our skills, go into defense. Dodge is only at 2,500, so maybe I should work on dodge a little bit. Yeah, you face a lot more melee enemies, but when you've got ranged coming at you, more mobs can attack you. So maybe that's something that any more of those I should just dump right into dodge. We've got avoidance. Dispense decoy 1. Right, 143,000 skill points. Good gravy. Never would have thought 5 years ago. Just think about where your avatar is now compared to when you started. Just think about how far you've come. That's all grind, my friends. That's all hard work. And the best part is you can do that shit in real life too. Like this is the best part. This is an allegory for real life. If you grind that shit out, you take the time, you practice, you just do the thing over and over and over, you're gonna become really good at it. You know? And that's one of the things that I kind of kick myself for, because I'm not good at remembering that. If there's something I want to do and want to get good at, I have to remember that I just got to keep doing the damn thing. And I'm not always good at practicing. It's totally my fault. That's why I'm not as good at swordsmanship as I should be. If I actually put the time in that I should put the time in, I'd be a lot better. Same with my target practice with my pistol. Now, we've got limitations on both of those because outdoor practice space and winter. But there are ways around that. You can work with it. We're figuring out for pistols. I can figure it out for swords. It's just one of those things where that's a problem I have to deal with. And I'm sure there's probably things you want to learn that you haven't taken the time to practice that's outside of your regular profession. Like when I wanted to learn about money, I made it my profession. Actually, I kind of fell into that job, but it became my profession, so I had to practice it all the time. 10 years later, I'm pretty good at it. Am I the best? No, there are people who are certainly richer than I am out there, but I'm not as stupid about things as I was 10 years ago. I've figured things out. Same thing with any skill set you can do, and that includes an Entropia universe is the same way. It's 100% the same way. You know, you gain the attributes up, you grind that shit out, you'll learn how to do the things, you'll learn the game mechanics, you'll learn the markets, you'll become a trade prince. And it can be done. I would love to know why they designed them like this. I'm not criticizing the design. I'm curious. It's like the whole demon shape is good, and then just to add more creep to it, they put these giant as like spider like hook things coming out the back. Like, how do these poor bastards sleep? That can't be comfortable. Look at the face. It's like Diablo face. Okay, guys, that's the end. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. And as always, I really appreciate the support. Huge shout out to my patrons, and we'll see you in the next one.